So Kendrick Lamar continues his dominance over the last year and a half over the entertainment industry, especially the music industry, especially the hip hop side of the music industry. And so many people are upset by this. I don't really understand it. But to quote the book of Euphoria, verse 3, line 20, I don't know what line it is, but Kendrick has learned some Negroes don't like the West Coast and he's fine with it. He will push the line with it. And what he meant by that is win all these awards and make everybody upset about it. I don't get it. This is quite possibly the greatest time in hip hop history for sure. Not only because Kendrick Lamar has reset the balance of power back into the hands of the creatives in hip hop and the most creative people in hip hop culture and those who care about it the most, it has also opened the door for the historic and the legendary acts of hip hop to not only release new music, but also receive their flowers and be appreciated for what they built, as it now, I think, in the eyes of the general public, has more of a future with Kendrick at the helm. Because here's the thing, most of the top artists in music are creative, are somewhat serious, have a serious tone to their music, have a mature tone to their music. I'm not talking about flash in the pan pop artists. I'm talking about your Taylor Swifts. As a matter of fact, let me put up this right quick. The top artists of 2025 thus far, the best-selling artists by pure album sales are number 1, Taylor Swift, number 2, Kendrick Lamar, number 3, The Weeknd, number 4, Tyler, the Creator, number 5, Stray Kid. Here's the thing about all those artists. They are actually creative and talented and take their music seriously. They are not pandering and producing a bunch of nonsensical records. A big problem that has existed in hip hop and why we need to watch the party die, as Kendrick said, is that though artists like Drake and artists like the Atlanta run, not all of Atlanta, but we know the artists who kind of make trap records, a lot of the, even my Chicago drill artists out there, they ain't talking about shit. Like, and they never were, and they never intended to. And in the real mainstream, though that may be profitable to the lower IQ people of our society, and that area of our society is a cash cow in corporate America. Trust me, I know this. It is also laughed at and disrespected, unfortunately. And hip hop in the past 5 to 7 years has been firmly entrenched in that space where it was not to be taken serious. It was looking to be replaced, as it did not have any real value with people who have a lot of value economically, is what I'm speaking of right now, where you don't need as many numbers, but people who actually can afford to purchase a vinyl record, people who are looking to buy concert tickets, as Kendrick and SZA's tour proves. Okay, Kendrick Lamar winning an Emmy Award for a very truthful, although very touchy, American history hip hop performance says a lot. Okay, now a lot of people didn't like that performance. A lot of people did, though, because we're in a time where people are more accepting of the truth, I would say. Now, again, whenever the truth is at the forefront, there will always be, the liars will always present a strong front and opposing side. Let me just put it that way. And you have, hip hop has had a immaturity problem for a long time. And Kendrick versus Drake righted that ship, because Drake represented the immature side and the side that is very uneducated and kind of mindless, so to speak. And I'm sorry, I like some of the Drake songs too, so I'm talking about myself as well. But what you see is people who are big fans of hip hop, who are mature, who are more serious, who have something to lose as far as a public image, they're not having a problem showing their appreciation for this genre, because Kendrick brought a certain validity and intelligence back to it that existed before. That's why you see Nas and what he's doing with Mass Appeal and some of the legacy acts of hip hop dropping new music. That's why you see Tyler, the Creator, and the 2 albums that he dropped this past year getting traction, gaining success. That's why you see the Clips album having the success that it had, even though they left a major record label and released it independently. It's still having success, still gaining traction. The Chance the Rapper album and the serious tone and the intelligent tone of the album, and that receiving success. The Jid album, the Doechii album, so many great albums that are not nonsensical, are not just trying to live off of shock value, that have no real integrity, intelligence, or subject matter in them. Just mindless background music, or mindless, I'm getting drunk tonight, or I'm on drugs music. Unfortunately, that's what hip hop had become under the so-called reign of Drake. And I'm sorry for my Atlanta people. A lot of the Atlanta artists, the Futures and etc., they fall into that category too. And when Young Thug talks about Kendrick not doing a feature, which I spoke about in the video where I talk about the party dying, this is where Kendrick aim for his career, I believe, has been. Because once you find out you can change the world with your story and you're serious about it, you do it. And I believe that's what he is doing, right? There are so many eyes across the world that are on hip hop right now because of the seriousness of the genre, as far as just awesome creativity, right? If you look at that Super Bowl performance, there has not been a Super Bowl performance like that. Period, point blank. Most people come out, they do their hit songs, they have some fireworks, and they go sit down. There's no statement, there's no nothing, they're not standing on anything, right? Kendrick is bringing a serious integrity, which has been there the whole time, just has been ignored in hip hop. He's bringing it to the forefront. And that is very historic, okay? He also won the Video Music Award for Best Cinematography at the VMAs for MTV. He also won another Emmy. Shout out to Dave Free. Shout out to Tony Russell, who also, the music director for the Super Bowl show, who also shared in those awards, and everybody who participated in the show and the video for Not Like Us. Shout out to all those people who are a part of history and who are a part of our culture, being headed in the right direction, in my opinion, as far as not only creating art that represents us in the best fashion, but also creating art that is respectful towards who we are and what we have done thus far and will continue to do in this world as a hip hop culture. We simply have the right so-called quote unquote leader at the helm. Not that he's here to lead us or anything like that. We know Kendrick does not appreciate or want to take that mantle, as he should not. There should not be any leaders. There should only be people doing and putting their best foot forward as far as creating their art, which is what he's doing fantastically. So the biggest salute to the brother Kendrick Lamar for yet another few awards coming his way. There will be more on the way just from the run in 2024 and early 2025. The tour continues throughout the rest of the year. The GNX album will be up for many more awards. So if you hate Kendrick, I don't know what to tell you, man. Go find a cave and get you some snacks and lay in that boy for about another year. And then maybe you can come out after that. But anyway, the rest of us are going to enjoy seeing the rise of hip hop, despite what the immature man boys want to say about it being boring. That's pretty funny. I guess, I mean, if you got a low IQ, it is boring. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't about shit, it is boring. But to the rest of us, we enjoying ourselves. So take a back seat. Anyway, man, that's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comments below about Kendrick winning these awards and the impact he's having, not only on hip hop culture, but on music and entertainment in general, and so much more. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button yet, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Share this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank y'all for watching as always, and we out.